this? Never.
What is going on, guys and gals, and welcome to Good Real Hunting. We have the good reel, so you don't have to. Wait, Brad, the Brett man is right over there, and welcome to Slash It Out Live. Tonight, we got a very fun show planned for you, ladies and gents. It's our first ever triple threat. What we're doing this month, we just hit 1,000 subscribers, guys. So this month, February, is Subscriber Appreciation Month, 1K celebration month, whatever you want to call it. And so we put a series of polls out for our shows, and you guys actually selected this episode tonight to do our very first ever triple threat for a Slash It Out episode. Obviously, a few months have gone by since the release of Halloween Ends and the conclusion of this new Halloween trilogy, so it has digested quite a bit. So we're going to tackle all three of these movies tonight, Birdie. We're going to put them up against each other. We got categories. We're going to have a good time. We're going to dig deep into this trilogy and determine which flick is the best.
Man, Chad, can I get a, oh yeah? No, just messing. But dude, I'm so looking forward to this triple threat match. I knew we wanted to do this particular matchup. We actually thought about doing this for Jordan Peele's trilogy, but if this is a success tonight, we will definitely revisit those Jordan Peele 3 movies for a triple threat match in the future. But you all voted for this. What you all want, you all get. So we are excited for this triple threat match tonight. And real quickly, before we really get things rolling here tonight, we want to thank our real hunters. These are our Patreons on our channel. They are the official backbone of this channel. They make the things go rolling. Big things popping, little things dropping, however that song goes. It's been such a long time. I'm getting old. But these are guys that contribute to our channel. We cannot thank these people enough. And if you all want to be a real hunter, the Patreon link is in the description down below. Select a tier, any kind of tier is appreciative, so you could be an official real hunter today.
Yes, and of course, if you can't be a Patreon, that's okay. We just appreciate you being here, being in the chat, liking the video, subscribing, all that stuff, and sharing it. It really helps the channel a lot as we continue to try to hit our goals and continue to grow this awesome community that we're part of at this point. So yeah, man, we appreciate all avenues of support.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's let me turn on this banner real quick. I do want to address that before I address the chat. R.I.P. George P. Wilbur. That was a tough loss in the Halloween community today. Yes. And Brad, do you want to say any quick thoughts about our George P. Wilbur?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's looked at as one of the better Michael Myerses in the franchise. Obviously, everybody's favorite, is Tony Moran. I'm just kidding.
No, everybody's favorite. Not funny right now.
Everybody has their favorite, but I think by and large, most people think that that he is one of the better ones. Obviously, he brought a great performance in Halloween 4 and 6, and just a beast of a Michael. Still to this day, one of the most brutal versions of Michael Myers was that Halloween 6 Michael Myers. So yeah, man, it's a pretty big loss, man. It's one that hits quite a bit. He's a big part of the franchise, and yeah, it's definitely it'll make me sad next time I watch those movies.
Yeah, absolutely. It is sad that we just lose a Michael Myers who brought his all into his roles. Like, I know his look in Halloween 4 was not the greatest, but he still brought a good performance to the Michael Myers character, especially what Brad said with part 6. Feel how you feel about the movie, but the one thing you cannot deny is Michael Myers was a badass in Halloween 6, and that's all thanks to George P. Wilbur. Performance with that. So R.I.P. George P. Wilbur. We'll dedicate this Slash It Out Halloween edition episode to you, my friend.
Absolutely, man. I think it's very appropriate. And yeah, man, it's going to be good to talk about a little Halloween tonight, man. It's been a minute. And I know we actually talked about doing this episode at the end of Hallow Scream a few months ago, but we were just kind of at the point where we're ready to just move on to something new at the time. Because that was a long process, but we're here tonight, man, and I'm glad we waited because now Halloween Ends has digested a little bit more. We've all kind of got a better idea of how to feel about this trilogy, so it's gonna be a lot of fun, man.
Absolutely. So before we officially begin the games, well, not games, but the Slash It Out, saying things get slice and dicing. Let's say hello to people in the chat here. We got Cody Snyder saying, what's going on, Cody Snyder? Yo, AJ, you're doing, Good Real Hunting. We don't know who those asshats are. Leon, what's going on? Rosie, my dear, here is your rose. Brother Fluff, what's going on, Brother Fluff? Hey guys, just got home from visiting Dad in the hospital. We appreciate you just stopping by, Brother Fluff. We know you are going for some things right now, and we're just thinking about you, man. We really,
Of
truly are.
course. Absolutely.
So let me see here. We got Atanas. What's going on, Atanas? We got Gory Tiger. What's going on? Chad is in the house. I'm gonna hide that away for a minute because I'm not trying to see what's going on in the poll right now. But thank you, Chad, for being here. Kyle, what's going on, Kyle? Anybody else? Anybody else? Going once, going. There he is. Lamontre, what's going on, Lamontre? Brooke, what's going on, Brooke? She joined Guru Hunting Facebook group today. So what's going on, Brooke?
Welcome to both the show and the Facebook group. We have a lot of fun over there, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there we go. Danner Bobanner, what's going on, my friend? Anybody else? Oh, of course, Whorehead Heather, what's going on? So let's see here. All right, I think that is everything. If I miss somebody, please let yourself be known. But we're going to get ready to get into this slash. Before we do that, I want to ask you guys, what do you think about this Halloween trilogy? Which movie is the better of the three? Let us know in that comment section down below. And if you're watching live right now, be sure to vote in the poll right now because you all get to decide who wins tonight.
Yeah, and of course, man,
who wins tonight?
Who wins tonight? Evil's gonna win tonight, Michael. But no, you know what? We have our categories, but if you guys have questions you want to talk about with this trilogy, drop them over there. We'll try to get to them. And man, it's gonna be fun, man. I think what we should do each category is we should just rank. I'll explain later, but I think we should just rank them too while we're at it. You know, we'll talk about it. We'll determine what's the best. We should also determine what's second best and what's last in each category. We'll get to that in a minute.
I can do that, Mr. Pennywise.
Oh, holy fucking hell.
I see your freaking shirt there.
It's never been like Pennywise.
Okay, so this Tale of the Tape is going to be a little different just because there's three movies. I can't get three stat lines without you all just like squinting like this. So I decided to split it up with like kind of like the movie fact cards. And so we'll just go like each one by one here. So the first one we're going to look at is Halloween 2018. So Brad, any thoughts with these numbers that you see?
No, we went over these when we did the review, obviously. Nothing's changed as far as my thoughts go or anything. Of course, this one just made a shit ton of money, man. And obviously, green lit this whole trilogy. At this point, when this movie came out in Halloween 2018, there was no plans for a trilogy. They left it open enough to do something with, but there were no official plans until this thing went out there and made more money than any Halloween movie in the franchise history. So, yeah, man, everything looks good to me there.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially that global number right there, man. The famous 260 million. One of the highest horror movie global successes of all time. And you know what? Rightfully so, man, because Michael Myers has been absent on the big screen since 2009 during this time. So, man, what a way to freaking come back in the most brutal and uncomfortable way, and uncomfortable in a great way.
I still just remember all the excitement that was generated for this movie, man. Years and years of anticipation, what they were going to do, all the buildup leading up to it, all the videos on YouTube everybody was doing. Oh, here's what's going to happen. Jamie Lee Curtis is coming back. All this, speculation, stuff like that. It was really one of those moments that you always remember. It's kind of comparable to when Force Awakens came out, man.
Oh, yeah, dude, that's such a great comparison, man. I absolutely agree with you. Solid numbers all around. But unfortunately, this is where we start getting ready to go down, like in numbers that I've been noticing. But this one we don't blame this one, and that is Halloween Kills, because this movie got released during the era of the global bastard. So the numbers got affected a little bit with this, who am I kidding? Not a little bit. It got affected a pretty good amount, but thanks to the Peacock, it definitely gained some success, man. So, Brad, what do you think about this?
Yeah, man, still very profitable, all things considered, in the midst of the pandemic and everything, being delayed a year, all that stuff. Obviously it wasn't I think it kind of the delay of the year kind of slowed down the hype train a little bit. Coming off of Halloween 2018, everything was looking really good. Everybody was really pumped, and then a year went by, and an unexpected year went by, I should say. And kind of slowed things down. I know even our excitement wasn't quite as much as what it was, the first year when we first started doing these videos and stuff. So yeah, but it still came out, man. It regenerated some excitement. I know it was kind of a disappointment for a lot of people, but yeah, it still made plenty of money, man.
Hell yeah. Definitely the excitement train. Actually we'll go the opposite, Brad. I thought the excitement train was even more hyped up because a lot of people were really curious to see how this movie was going to carry on after the first one, especially with it pertaining to the same night. And man, yeah, just after the theater, yeah, this one's definitely going back and forth for sure. Not as much as the next one, though, Brad. This one will definitely be one of the most back and forth movies of all time in the horror genre. What movie is that? That is Halloween Ends.
Oh yeah, dude, it is right in the middle. Both audience. Now, mind you, look at this. The critic score is actually higher for Halloween Ends than it is on Halloween Kills. So that's interesting. Obviously the audience score is right there in the middle. It's very divisive. We all know this, man. Me and Birdie are divided on it. Everybody's divided on this one, man. It is what it is, but still, you know what? It's making money, man. At the end of the day, not as much. It's starting to die off. Word of mouth wasn't good for this movie, but it's still making stacks.
Yeah, because unfortunately people cannot help that contain themselves to dive into the spoilers. Like, oh, I gotta know this, I gotta know that. And once the script actually came out and what the movie was actually going to be about, yeah, the word of mouth, man, unfortunately hurt this movie a good amount. Still, Peacock helped out with those who did want to come outside from the global bastard and all that still helped. But other than that, yeah, back and forth between me and the Brad man here. And I'm sure we'll get into some discussion about it tonight. So yeah, these are the Halloween Ends numbers and all the other Halloween movies.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Looking forward to this this little discussion we're gonna have, man. It's gonna be fun because these three movies are very different. And we're about to get into it, so I'll leave it at that. But they're very different movies.
Yeah, and Rosie wants to say evil eats peanut butter tonight. I'm not sure about evil. I eat peanut butter whether I'm good or evil.
But are you gonna eat it on your penis? Damn it, that was weird. But don't do that.
If it's so sorry about my co-host right there, that was extremely inappropriate. So I do apologize. So I will carry this show single.
Get out of here, dude. You get peanut butter on your penis, dude. That's what happens. It happens that way sometimes.
No, I'm a clean person, so everything is good, man. Wait a minute. Danner Banner is saying something. Mess up, Danner. Yeah, I messed up. It's 2022 for Halloween Ends on the release date. Good eye, Danner. Someone always has to correct me for my mistakes.
Private eye, we're watching you. We see you every move.
Yeah. All right. Got that dance out of the way. Even though we got a nice little dance video for whoever sends a super chat tonight, man. So whoever's going to freaking dance, you all get to decide whether somebody gets to dance or not. But again, that is optional. So anything would be appreciative. And, it all goes back to the channels. So, Brad, what do you want to talk about first?
I want to talk about this. Chad's whole deal with peanut butter here being better than lotion.
Oh my god!
You know what? That's a very expensive lubricant, Chad. I think you, unless you're getting the Kroger brand peanut butter, hopefully you're doing that because that Jif stuff is kind of pricey. Yeah, at Costco, you can get a lot of it.
I am not going to talk about this. We got more important fish to fry other than lotion and peanut butter, man. Even though I'll tell you this, peanut butter and a dog. But anyways, okay. So
oh my gosh. Okay. Fucking.
Yeah. So we're getting way too much detail right here. So Brad, what do you want to talk about?
Let's see. Let's take a look at the categories. Let's get something kind of easy to start. We don't want to get too crazy here. Let's talk about, you know what? I mean, just kind of while we're doing the kind of introducing these movies. You want to go ahead and talk about the most memorable moment?
Yeah, we absolutely we can, man. So since you picked this one, what do you think's the most memorable moment?
So, yeah, this is just kind of what I think about when I think of these movies. And I know Halloween, obviously, guys, we're going to be talking spoilers for Halloween Ends, but I think everybody here's seen it. And, it's been
Oh,
out for a few months, but
Darth Stewie does want to say a quick announcement real quick.
No, oh, hang on. Spoiler alert. Okay.
that was nice of him. I'm glad he came in for that. um, Yeah, so where was I? Okay, so this is kind of the scenes that I think of when I think of each of these movies. And I know for Halloween 2018, it might be a little bit weird and kind of maybe not what everybody else thinks, but when I think about this movie, I always think about the bus crash sequence. I always think because that scene is just so atmospheric. It's so eerie and weird and just being in the dark with the fog and all that stuff and Michael on the loose and the mangled bodies you see when Hawkins makes it back to the bus. And all that stuff. It's just creepy, man. I like that. That to me was one of the creepiest moments of this movie. Halloween Kills. I always like to think about. Obviously it's hard to think about Halloween Kills and not think about that fire escape. Because that's what was on the trailers. That's kind of what was on. A lot of the pictures we saw, the promotional materials for the movie and all that. So that's really the first thing that comes to mind for Halloween Kills when he busts out of that freaking flaming ass house, man. It's getting hot in there. He's taking off all his clothes, but he's not really, but he is murking people with tools and shit and saws. That to me was just badass. There was actually, there's a few other scenes in both of these movies, but those are the two that came to mind. And Halloween Ends, I gotta say, the junkyard sequence, man. That's one of my favorite scenes in this whole trilogy, honestly. It comes back to the atmosphere of that and the score that plays throughout and everything like that, the build up of that. Where's Corey at? Where's he at? Oh gosh, let's go find him. But he's you can't see him. He's kind of lurking around. He's freaking, killing people, putting them in the cars. They find out the buddy's dead. The music ramps up. The car comes on. It's fucking good. I love that sequence.
Oh, dude, you picked some excellent choices, my friend. Man, how to even say whatever good scenes, because there are definitely some good memorable moments out of all three of these movies. 2018, the bus sequence is excellent, Brad, but I'm going to take it a step further as possibly one of the most uncomfortable scenes in a Halloween movie, and that's the freaking bathroom scene.
Oh, dude, that's so good. Yeah,
in my opinion, it's the best thing they ever generated in this Halloween trilogy. It's just talk about just bring back the brutalness of Michael Myers. That whole scene just does it for you. Okay, he's back. He's better than ever. James Jude Courtney is nothing to be fucked with in this trilogy. And just how he handles those podcasters, man, just freaking brutal.
You know what's great about that scene too, Birdie, is that he's not even wearing his mask in that. Yet they still made him freaking like awesome. You know what I mean? He doesn't need to be have to have the mask on to be frightening. And that was actually, again, one of the most tense scenes in the movie. Just again, because of the score, because of the brutality that he's bringing in, all that stuff is really well done. And he's not even wearing his mask.
No, definitely not wearing this mask. So that was actually a great point. Is he's even that more violent without the mask. Damn, I was trying to think of that Batman quote. I was sheriff behind the mask. But anyways, not important. The next
you like strawberries?
Oh my god, we are not talking about fresh market strawberries right now, even though strawberries are packed with fiber. But Halloween Kills, man, let's think about this. Because you set the fire. I'm actually going to go with the freaking kitchen, the kitchen death and all that when he terrorized the cemetery workers.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Yeah, because those were some of the most brutal kills I've ever seen in a Halloween movie too. It's like, what the fuck does he want? So some guy in a creepy mask or in a monster mask and all that, man. So it's just to see that the practical effect work being used and that with the light bulb and in the neck with how hard it was to film that, but they freaking filmed it to perfection. And plus, it's just freaking brutal, man. So that scene always sticks in my mind.
Would you say that Michael really lit up her world?
Oh my God, Brad, that's my job, okay? Even like that freaking elderly gentleman, man, like he took flights with his flight sim. Okay, that's horrible. Yeah, you win. Like ain't going to come up with a better pun tonight. But Halloween ends. What is the most memorable scene? I will easily tell you what the most memorable scene is, and that is when Corey Cunningham and Michael Myers freaking wrestle in the tunnels or in the sewers. No, I'm joking. That is absolutely not it. It's definitely the beginning sequence of Halloween ends with the whole like the kid situation, him falling and pretty much setting the groundwork of what Corey Cunningham and how his decision to evil really truly begins. That one, dude, just that opening alone was just shocking and perfectly well done for a Halloween movie.
Yeah, that was a doozy for sure, man. Man, a lot of great moments, man. So okay. So how would you rank the three?
Rank the
Worst to
three.
best. Worst to best.
Best, what I said, Halloween 2018. The second, Halloween ends. The third, Halloween kills.
And the best was 2018. You said
Yes.
best. You did okay. Okay, so I would say best for me. It's how it ends. It's that junkyard sequence of these three moments, dude. It's so good. I would actually say all these moments are great. I'm going to go with the bus crash for 2, and then the worst, which is still great, is Michael busting out of the flaming house. Visually, that's probably the coolest, but you just got to take in the other elements too, the atmosphere and stuff, and whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely. And plus we see that fire scene like a lot when it first came out too. So like it is memorable for that, but it is definitely overplayed. Like when they did
Yes.
promotions and everything.
Yeah. I mean, it's really just like it's just so it's just really what comes to your mind when you think about the movie because of that, because it showed that whole sequence in that trailer.
Oh, dude, absolutely. And Barber Flood brings up a good one. The DJ thing was badass. I absolutely agree with that too. Even though the DJ can no longer freaking speak. Um,
He's
so,
not going to be talking on the radio anymore.
oh no. And autonomous, listen, are you talking about? Oh yeah, that's what I was talking about with the Halloween 2018. Yeah, with Michael dropping the teeth. That's the thing I was mentioning for sure. I saw another one.
I got one right here, Birdie.
Bring it up.
We don't have to go into a full ranking, but this was an interesting question for me. Chad said the trilogy peaked with that first trailer for 2018, so that makes me want to ask you what your favorite trailer was for the trilogy.
Oh, simple. Halloween Kills. Just because of
Yeah.
that fire scene alone, it established everything of what that movie was going to be, and it made me more excited for Kills than 2018. All because of that trailer, man. And plus, that trailer has done so much for this channel too. So it's kind of like a little bit of a personal favorite trailer right there. So if I'm going to do a quick ranking, it's the Kills trailer, 2018 trailer, and then I was just done to be done. Halloween Ends trailer.
I agree with all that. I think the ends trailer was still really solid, but I just remember being really that I agree. Yeah, that Kills
Burnout.
trailer. I think it was the second one or the last. I can't remember, but it had that orchestra score in it. It was so epic. It really just freaking drove. Like it did tell you exactly what was going to happen in the movie. It said they're going to be out there. There's a mob. They're looking for Michael. People are going to fly off the hospital. Figaro. It didn't tell you who, but we could all kind of assume that it wasn't going to be Michael Alluri, even though we probably predicted that it was. Yeah, so it told us what was going to happen in the movie, but it was so good with the music, man. It was so freaking high energy, and yeah, Halloween 2018, I remember being so good and getting me pumped up. And then Ends was actually it regenerated my excitement for the trilogy. It was a really strong trailer, but at that point, yeah, I mean, I'll be kind of with you, man. I was I don't know. It just my excitement level was lower than it ever was, so it just didn't hit me as hard.
Yeah. So yeah, I definitely agree with that with Halloween Ends. But yeah, because the other two were just to me that much better, and plus fatigue really played a factor with Halloween Ends. Leon brings up a interesting point. I'm kind of curious what the chat thinks about this. That's why I don't watch trailers anymore. They showed the whole movie and it ruins it and makes it less exciting. That is a really strong point, but I just freaking can't help myself. I always gotta watch a trailer just to kind of know what I'm getting into.
I'm the same way, man. I know that some of my favorite movie experiences that I've had as of late have been when I've gone in completely blind, like Barbarian, yeah, Infinity Pool. Even I kind of watched the trailer like one time and kind of went into it. after that. And, there's been a few examples over the last year or so where I just didn't really, we didn't do a reaction for it. I didn't watch the trailer and whatever. But when it comes to these high profile Scream, Halloween, it's so hard for me not to. And at the end of the day, I don't really care as much for spoilers in these because you kind of know what's going to happen anyway. It's just going to be Michael slaying people, or somebody else for that matter. But yeah, I mean, I agree though. I think in general, it decreases your enjoyment of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
They did that with
especially if it's a Blumhouse trailer.
Yeah, that closet kill, man, in Halloween 2018 was it could have been one of the coolest. That could have been the most memorable moment, but because we saw the trailer,
shit!
Yeah, man, they took that from us, man.
Hey, isn't that asshole from across the street? And Kyle, I got your question, but I just wanted to make sure we get ours in as well. But we're going to definitely get to yours because it is a good question. But Brad mentioned
we'll hit that for sure.
Brad mentioned score, so I thought it would be a nice transition for the score. So which of these three movies has the best score? And dude, this one's going to be difficult.
It is tough, man. These are all strong. I've said, you want me to go first again, or you want to go first? I don't.
You could keep going first, just back and forth and all that.
All right, cool, man. I've said it many times. I don't think Halloween Ends is the best score from a soundtrack perspective. As in, it's not something you're going to seek out. You're not going to put it on Spotify and jam out to it. But I actually think it's the most atmospheric of the three scores. It's the one that adds the most. I wouldn't say it adds the most value to the movie per se, but it really elevates some of the scenes for what they were going for. It really enhances the storytelling, I could say. It does enhance the storytelling, probably more so than any of the other scores. But dude, you can't. The first two scores were so badass. They had so many good freaking beats of music. I would have to venture towards Halloween 2018, I think, in this battle. It's very close between that and Kills, but I just love the way they modernized some of the original songs from the original movie, and that Shape Haunts Allison beat is still the best. I think it's the best thing in the trilogy. I mean, it's so good.
Mm-hmm. Dude, I wouldn't say it's the best in the trilogy. Other than the theme song of Halloween, I would think that 2018 with the Allison chasing the Shape chasing Allison score is the best in the entire franchise. So there we go. I already spoiled my number one, Halloween 2018, but by a hair. It's like this close. I'm just going to get close up there. You see how close that is?
Yes.
Oh, damn it, I just touched my fingers. So, okay. So, anyways, Halloween 2018 is definitely my favorite. Brad, you know how you kind of said, you talk about Ends not being like the most oh, I'm going to chase this on Spotify, but it fits the movie well. That's how that is with 2018 for me. But I played that freaking vinyl in my house. I was so damn scared to be in my house by myself when I played that vinyl because of the tone and atmosphere of that soundtrack, dude. So that's why 2018 is number one for me. Number two is definitely right behind it of how that much close it is. That's Halloween Kills with its three epic scores, new and refreshing. Freaking badass. What's that one? It's not Irresistible.
Rampage is fantastic on the Kill score, dude. It's so good.
Absolutely fantastic.
And the other one's Unkillable, I think, is the name of it.
Yeah, Unkillable. And there's a third one too. But dude, they're all three absolutely terrific. But again, I just love that the Shape chases Allison score so damn much. And then Ends is indeed last. It's mainly because of the fact it's not, to me, very memorable than the other ones as well. But I do agree, though, Brad, that soundtrack definitely fits within the movie with the story it's telling. So I absolutely agree with you on that.
I have the same ranking. 2018 is the best for me. Kills is not far behind it, but it is just a little bit. Just because they still did reuse some of the same score and whatnot. They did add some banging tracks, but it's still just not quite enough. And then really not far behind that either is Ends for me. I am a big fan of that junkyard sequence, that junkyard sound, that track, the junkyard scene from, you know what I'm trying to say. The music that plays during the junkyard scene is called the junkyard on the track. It's really solid. I like that one. It's one of my favorites. Really good.
Dude, absolutely. Let's get to Kyle's question here saying, what your best favorite final act in the trilogy? Ooh.
It's a good question, man.
Here, let me check to see your freaking here. like with the questions we have. Okay, we can answer that one because we do not have one. So excellent question, Kyle. Best favorite final act. Um, again, I'm not trying to hate on Ends, man, but Ends is my least favorite just because I do not like how all that freaking played out when they had just everything in the palm of their hand to not only end a 40-year plus story, but also start a new story. They fucking dropped the ball on that, so that's dead last. I would say my middle one is going to have to be Kills just because
Yeah.
everything was rushed and kind of bullshit. While the first one, 2018, definitely was more memorable and eventful. And definitely just that last shot of Allison holding the knife, making that a big homage to Jamie Lloyd's story where she holds scissors, but kind of the same premise. Just more like, oh shit, what's going to happen next? Like you were so more excited what was going to happen next with the end of that third act. So Halloween 2018 is my number one, Kills 2, Ends 3.
I agree 100%. Once again, that's my same ranking. Now I will say that I honestly like the third acts and all the. I'm not a huge fan of any of these third acts. I think they're all kind of weaker than the first two acts to an extent. I don't know. I didn't love any of these endings. The third acts, for the most part, were they were decent, but when it came time to actually end the movie, wasn't a huge fan. 2018 was my favorite for sure because you had that epic freaking battle scene in the house. We were building up the whole movie to Jamie's house, or freaking all of her little traps and her doors and all of her weapons and all that fun stuff. Michael finally gets in there. They duke it out for a minute. It's a good long fight. It goes on for some time. Some good callbacks to the original movie. Some good, it was nice and dark in there and creepy, and that was fun. I like that. And then, the ending is cool with the flaming trap, the house going up in flames. All that's pretty nice. Kills, that ending just really left me flat, at the end of the day. I watched it and I was like, I just don't even care where this goes after this. It was one of those that just, honestly, I might put Kills last because I don't really like the Kills ending
That's
all that
fair.
much. Yeah, I really don't like the Kills ending. I don't like when Michael gets up after the mob beats his ass in the ground. That was cool. Like, and I was expecting it to be really top the freaking firefighting sleigh scene earlier in the movie, but it really didn't. The way it was edited, the way it was cut, together with all these close shots, it was very underwhelming in my opinion. And then Karen just gets slayed, and you really don't feel any impact from it because it just happens like that. So I didn't really like the ending of Kills that much. Ends, it was okay, but it felt really tacked on. It felt like they just put it on there just because they had to, and felt really out of place with the rest of the movie, which is one of my big problems with Halloween Ends. As much as I am a fan of that movie, I don't like the way the third act kind of came into it. But it was still fun, a good Duke session between Laurie and Michael, and the way they the way they threw Michael's ass into that freaking meat grinder or whatever it was, that was pretty cool. So yeah, I would go 2018 Ends and then Kills at the bottom.
There you go. Very nice, my friend. And Brooke, I want to get your comment. You said 2018 ended so abruptly. I felt like it needed more. Just to defend that, the reason they ended it that way is because with Kills, it was pretty much a transition, like from that scene to that movie. I felt like that's why it ended that way. It's because it was pretty much, again, this whole trilogy was supposed to be in one night, but just because of the global bastard, they had to change plans and all that. Which again, I would still love to see the Halloween Ends movie we were supposed to get with the third and final night. But again, without it, we wouldn't get a great character in Corey Cunningham. So it's pretty much apples to oranges there.
You got to think, though, 2018, when it came out, there were no plans for Kills. There were no plans for Ends. There was not a trilogy at that point. So I totally agree with Brooke. That's the problem I have with that 2018 ending. The buildup was decent of the third act, the fight session of them duking it out. But then, it just ends out of nowhere. They do have, I want to see the original ending to 2018. Where Michael and Laurie pretty much kill each other, because it was initially that was going to be cool. It was initially going to be like a one-off, and they were both going to die. And I want to see that because I think that would be a better ending. They changed it after test screenings to this to leave it open. So I want to see what they're originally going to go with, because I agree it was very tacked on too. But I still, because of that fight in the house, it's still my favorite.
Hell yeah, man. I love when we freaking go back and forth and disagree, man. So like it makes everything fun. So thank you, Brooke, with that comment. And real quickly, Thanos, don't snap your finger. I would very much love to be on this planet. But no, everybody, Thanos, welcome to Good Real Hunting, and everybody in the chat, please make Thanos feel welcome. And if you get a chance, make sure his Infinity Gauntlet is off at all times.
Yeah, at least take out one of the stones, so you're not.
Yeah, at least one stone.
Yeah,
Like just let it be the power stone. Like at
yeah.
least so. Okay, so just
Keep
I just want to make sure. But Thanos, welcome to Good Real Hunting. So Brad, what do you want to talk about next?
Let's take a little gander here, shall we? Okay, let's talk about characters a little bit. Better characters. I know. Yeah, let's talk about that.
Gummit. Dang, can I go first on this one?
Please.
Okay. Just because you're going to be so happy with better characters with me, though, Brad, in this one. Because throughout most of the day, I was thinking it's going to be Halloween 2018. But the more I thought about it, the more I just, took a nap, woke up, and rethink everything. Just that damn story with Corey Cunningham, man. It's just I can't explain it. I hated Halloween Ends. Well, I didn't hate it. I just really dislike Halloween Ends. But the one thing I majorly give it a major A+++ on is Corey Cunningham, because it was so different. It's such a unique story. It's such a unique character. It's just hard to get it out of my brain. And Corey Cunningham's going to legit live in my brain for the rest of my life. With how excellently handled he was. Again, I just kind of wish they went the anthology route with the Halloween franchise like it was supposed to be, because that would have made more sense with the Corey Cunningham character. It's just, unfortunately, with him, it's just too late. I feel like they could have done with a different Halloween movie, but I still give him that full credit. Excellent character. So I will put Halloween Ends at number one for me because of Corey Cunningham alone. And then 2018, definitely, because we're learning about Allison and Karen and Hawkins and Sheriff Barker. Oh, who gives a shit about Sheriff Barker? But more Hawkins and all that. So I love the characters in that. And then Halloween Kills, it should be number one, but with how they handle the legacy characters and just with the characters, just trash, man. Absolute trash, and just very sad that's how they used those characters when they returned all those years.
Yeah, dude. Kills is my least favorite. I'll go ahead and nip that in the bud. It could have been cool. They brought back a lot of cool people, but they all ended up being total disasters. And plus Figaro, I RIP for the actor, but I couldn't get the whole thing with the movie was just weird. This is where I'm going to surprise you, Birdie. I'm actually going to go in second place. I'm going to go Ends here in the middle.
Okay.
Now I will say Corey Cunningham's my favorite character of this trilogy. But I don't really like what they did with the other characters in the movie to an extent. I like Hawkins a lot, and that's a big reason why I have Halloween 2018 at the top, because Hawkins was such a great supporting character in this thing, and he had a lot to do in that first movie. So I enjoyed him, and I don't like what they did with him in Ends. They made him survive the events of Halloween 2018, and then he was in a hospital bed in the second movie, and then Ends he was just not there. He was gone the whole time. He was doing random shit, like in the grocery store. So was it the cherry blossoms or whatever he was doing? That was his goal.
And speaking Japanese.
Yeah. God.
So,
obviously I didn't like that. Like I said, Ends is definitely the most character driven movie, but I like that the amount of good characters we had in 2018, a good starting point for Allison. I didn't like Karen in that movie, but I did like I said, Hawkins. I thought Jamie was solid in that movie. I like her more in Ends, actually, which I know I'm kind of contradicting myself. But then you think about the podcasters too. Those guys were pretty cool. They were fun. They were a decent part about the movie. Sartain is another big one. I think Sartain got knocked off a little too early because I thought he was really interesting. I liked Sartain. So yeah, that's a big one for me. It's like Corey Cunningham is the top, but you average it out with all the other good characters in 2018, it gives it the slight edge. Because I think Lindsay was probably the best part about Kills, and she was kind of wasted in Ends too. And yeah, the other side characters, the doctor and the nurse or whatever, I didn't care about them that much. So
Yeah, you know, what, dadgummit, that's a really great point. Just to me, though, Corey Cunningham was just like again, just a fresh character. That's why he gets major like up points for
Yeah.
that. And just plus me, I know how the Allison character wins like with throughout the trilogy. That's why I knocked it down a few pegs with the 2018 one. But that excellent point though with 2018 though, like with how they handled the characters.
Yeah, I thought they were all good. Like I enjoyed them all, from the beginning to the end. There's not really any like Julian's another good example. Like I know a lot of people like think that what's wrong with Julian? Oh, I agree with you, Matty, boy, my man,
What's
Matteo.
going on, man?
Good to see you. I agree. Like Julian, though, like yes, I know people give the scene shit for the comedy and stuff like that, and that's fair. But Julian was fantastic, and so was the other, like the couple too. Like you look at what's her name and what's his name. Can't remember either of their names, so they're not that great. But the whole thing, they were dry humping each other, and he was knocking over helicopters.
More try humping than freaking Cameron Diaz and Justin Timberlake did in that freaking one movie with Cameron Diaz as the bad teacher. Bad teacher, yeah.
Cameron Diaz. Yeah, that was good. I like those characters though. They were all fun. Like there's a plethora, if you will, of good characters in 2018 that I think just overall just kind of tipped the scales over one great character and ends.
And again, fair point. And dude, I was actually really surprised she picked 2018 over ends. But I want to get Brett for Flepp's comments saying, "How dare you, Brett? Wasn't the sheriff played by Titus O'Neil?" As soon as I saw Sheriff Barker in Halloween 2018, I legit had to look it up after the theater, making sure that was not Titus O'Neil because that dude is seriously a doppelganger of Titus O'Neil.
See, I do think that they wasted like Barker was a character that was completely wasted after. Like they were all set up decent in the first movie to do something cool throughout the franchise. Barker was completely wasted after the fact. He didn't do anything the second one. He didn't show up in the third one until the last fucking scene.
I wonder why.
He's like, "Hey, what are we doing tonight? We're gonna kill his ass." I can't remember what he said. But he showed up at the end. Hawkins, I was so excited when he came back. I was like, "Oh, dude, yes, thank you," because I was so disappointed when they killed his ass in 2018. And then they brought him back in Kills. I was like, "Fuck yeah!" And I knew they wouldn't be able to do much with him in Kills because he was all broken up over there, bitch. He's the prequel story to Ronnie. But then ends, he comes in, he's not even in the movie. Like, why did he? Like, honestly, it would have been his character would have been better served if they would have just killed his ass because there's no need to bring him back for him to do nothing.
Yep, that comment says it all right there.
Totally. He should have taken over in Kills or in ends at the least because of the failures of Barker in Kills at the hospital. Like it just doesn't make any sense.
Especially him getting swallowed up in the Sarah going, nah!
When he was in the hospital getting freaking stampeded, like Kevin and Earl from God dang, man, that was freaking bad.
Oh my god. But R.I.P. Sheriff Barker, as we may never see you again. The character, not the actor. Like the actor I have no issues with. So let's see here. There we go. They should have killed him instead of Tommy.
Oh yeah, easy. Yeah, dude, absolutely. Because you could have played that off. He should have been there at the end in the mob and gotten slayed like Tommy did. That would have been fine. I think that would have been a good bet.
And Ronnie is Michael after the third one. Oh my god. What's going on, Cole?
Could you imagine if they pulled him out of the fucking grinder and they started taping him back up again? That's gonna look we won't spoil it for the peeps. We got something fun in store.
Well, we already did play Darth Stewie played his announcement, so
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the Burt version of Ronnie that we're gonna see the next.
Gotcha. Okay. So let's see here. Brad, let's go with I want to save the best ones for last. So let's go ahead and let's do this one. Best story.
Oh, this one's easy for me, man. I'm going to go with 2018, or I'm sorry, I'm going to go with ends. I'm going to go with ends.
Say, whoa.
Sorry, I was looking at the 2018 picture. Yeah, man, I think far and away ends has the better story here. I like the story in 2018. It was just super safe. It was very Like, they didn't really take a lot of chances. The only chance they took was one that really wasn't received well, and that was the Sartain thing that we'll talk about here in a little bit. But yeah, it was a safe story. It's almost the exact same formula as the original Halloween. Like, Michael's been, in prison for a while. He gets out, he wreaks havoc kind of deal. Kills there was no story in Kills. It was just Michael slaying full. So that's my least favorite. But then Ends actually comes with us. They waited till the last movie of the trilogy to do this, but they actually come at us with a really unique story, especially for one of these slasher flicks, especially for a Halloween movie. Probably one of the most unique stories in the whole franchise, which is why I appreciate it so much. And in my opinion, aside from the original movie, it is the best story in the original in the franchise. Because it's just, it's so character driven. It's all about this Corey character. And I get the qualms. It doesn't fit with the other two movies. I know it's the tail piece of the trilogy. It's supposed to bring it home, and we're starting a whole new story here. But when I'm watching it, I'm so into it. I'm so invested in that character. I'm so invested even in Allison's character. I know she wasn't used perfectly, but I'm still really into their relationship, and I'm still really into everything. And I'm just riding that freaking thing out, man. And I really appreciate it for that. And like I said, I think it's the most atmospheric of the three movies. And yeah, it's just a fun ride. It's a fun ride, dude. It's Christine, but with Michael Myers instead.
Oh my God, freaking Christine! I was always wondering, it's like, damn, how in the world are they going to tie into a freaking car with freaking Halloween? But man, they fucking pulled it off. I'll give it that for sure. So quickly, what? Like, Halloween Ends was your one. I'm going to assume 2018 was your two, and Kills was your three.
Yeah.
Okay, that's exactly my order. False, just kidding. 2018 is my number one, with Ends number two and Kills number three. Kills, pretty simple. There was no freaking story. It was all about kills, and more kills. Like, yeah, good luck trying to tell me a story in Kills. Here's where I'm different with Ends in 2018. Ends, Corey Cunningham, absolutely phenomenal story. Like, out of the trilogy, that is the better story. But we're talking about the story as a whole and how they ended a 40-year plus story with Michael and Laurie. It's just like, it did not land for me. It was a major disappointment, because that's the last time we'll see Jamie Lee Curtis on screen against Michael Myers. So again, very disappointing. So I just knock it down a good amount of pegs for that reason alone. And 2018 just told a good story because, again, 40 years later, Michael comes back. How does he come back? It makes sense. We get a brand new generation of Schroeds with Allison and Karen. They get to tell an interesting story, even though they failed them in the other movies. But 2018 was still a solid foundation to start a story within the trilogy. So 2018 is my number one. Ends is my number two, and Kills easily dead last.
Oh yeah, Kills is at the bottom, man. I think Brooke said this, and I agree. She said Laurie was the best in Ends. I totally agree. She was the most.
I disagree with that too. I think 2018 was the best Laurie.
I think she was a little bit too I don't know. Very much just like, oh hey, my name is Sarah Connor. I mean Jamie Lee Curtis. I mean, freaking Laurie Strode. Like, that's what they were going for there. I thought she was the most like human in Halloween Ends. I thought she was the most kind of relatable in Halloween Ends. And here's another thing I like about the story.
Rip my breasts of grief.
I love that. Let her have some fun. Let her have some, like, let her be a person. Let her be real. She wasn't real in the first two movies, and then she was. So I like that. I thought that was a funny bit. It was, she had a personality in that. She wasn't just like, oh, I'm gonna kill Michael. Evil is Michael. The more he kills, the more he transcends, and all that fun stuff. Like yeah, those lines are good for a trailer, but when that's everything your character is saying, it just gets annoying. And this movie, in Ends, she was very she was humanized. And I'll tell you what else I like about Ends in the story is the fact that you jump 4 years ahead. You have this town of Haddonfield, man, that's just so on edge. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so like Laurie's still feeling the effects of the first two movies. She can't go to the grocery store without getting bad looks and without freaking wheelchair lady coming out with the light bulb still sticking out of her neck. Not really, but there's probably still some glass in there. I doubt they got it all out. um, and doing all that. Like you can feel this sense of dread around the town, and kind of how the town is almost dying almost in this movie, and how it's just kind of like bare bones, and it's kind of lost all of its hope, and it's all because of the events of the first two movies, that Halloween of 2018, that night, and of course, the night, many years before that. But it's just kind of, everybody's like, hey, where's Michael? That, like, all that fun stuff. Michael's not seen in that first bit, but he's still very much alive in the community. He's still felt in the movie. And yeah, Michael might be in there for 15 minutes, but his presence is there, dude. And that's what I like about that 2018 movie, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what do you think about this comment down here? Do you think Laurie from H2O was the best Laurie?
From a character standpoint, I would say probably yes. Performance wise, I don't know. Yeah, I think so. I like the H2O Laurie quite a bit. I just wish she was in a better movie.
Yeah, that's true. Like, again, I'm still 2018. Like, I just feel like it works. Like, because again, H2O Laurie has already been done, so I wanted them to do something different with Laurie, and plus, kind of like the age we live in, with like being paranoid and all that, and an obsession, is really heavy within our culture these days. So I feel like how they represent Laurie in 2018 was perfect for me.
That's what I said. Like H2O, I think, again, she feels more real. Like, you could tell that she's dealt with that stress. She's very traumatized. She's moved on. She's hiding from Michael.
Yeah,
She's in a
like
different
I
state.
agree, because at the time that H2O came out, with that, like that's like explanatory of like how people deal with such a tragic event during that time. But I feel like with 2018, during the time that we live in now, we're like, screw this, we got guns. Freaking Laurie is the kind of like the representation of that. So it's just, to me, different time eras, and which time era you relate to more.
Yeah, I just still feel like H2O was more realistic. I feel like it was more humanized. It was less, I'm here because I'm in a movie, which is kind of the whole impression I got from Laurie in 2018. It's just, let's build her up to be like this fucking, gun crazy woman who's going to blow Michael away at the end. Like, it's cool, it's entertaining, but it's just not, I don't know, it's just not as good for this story, I don't think. But yeah, I still enjoyed her in 2018. I'm not gonna say I'm not. I thought it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. She was badass. Seeing her freaking doing all of her shit was great. But yeah, from a character standpoint, I do prefer the one in Ends.
Yeah, yeah, and so touche, man. Like, agree to disagree, but it's Halloween 2018. I'm just messing with you.
Fuck you. You fucking
let me get. No, what's the fuck on you? Mega Cat, what's going on, my friend? Gavals. Holy shit, more Halloween talk. I love Halloween as much as the next person, but what is there left to say about this trash of a trilogy? Well, that's our job, man. We're freaking wrapping everything up in a nice little bow, putting it in a tiny little lockbox, and then we'll be done with the Halloween talk until they do the next big thing with it.
Absolutely, man. That's what we're doing, man. We've let the trilogy digest, and we're talking about it one more time.
Yeah, one more time. And then Melissa, what's going on? Saying I can't pick out the three what the best, like them all. And you know what? That's awesome, Melissa. I'm glad you do like them all, because I like two of the three.
Yeah, I like them all to an extent. They're all very different.
Oh yeah, it's definitely different. And what's going on, Brad from Let's Talk Movies? That's Brad and Miguel. They did a great job at the Real Horror Awards, opening up that first category, man. Hopefully no tomatoes are being thrown at you.
Yeah, that was good, man.
This actually, this, I would say, Brad, this is a good time to do this one, because I saw Rosie's comment here about most cringe. You know what
let's bring it up.
I'm thinking. Yeah, let's do it. Okay.
Whip it out, Daddy.
Here it is. Okay, here we go. No, I'm kidding. Freaking the worst twist / and this is going to go with Rosie's comment of most cringe. What the fuck moment? And if you know us, we absolutely love a good what the fuck moment of any horror movie. We love to talk about it, make fun of it. So this is our time to do so. So Brad, worst twist / what the fuck moment in this trilogy, go.
Yep. So what we're basically talking about in a nutshell here is obviously the Sartain twist in the first one.
I'm in a nutshell.
Sartain doing his thing in the first one, flying Figaro and kills, and then obviously the whole Corey thing in the third movie that had people, just freaking out big time. And yeah, I mean, obviously to me, if I had to say the worst of the three, it's definitely Flying Figaro. It's that whole sequence in Kills where the dude's running around the hospital. 20 minutes of the movie's given up for this, and it has nothing to do with anything. Obviously they're trying to say something. I'm not saying it's not, it literally means nothing. Yeah, it's not that it literally means nothing, but it does in the sense of this movie halt the pacing to a freaking minimum, dude. It's like you're moving at a good pace throughout this movie. Michael's on the rampage. He's doing all kinds of crazy. He's killing people. There's freaking light bulbs getting stuck into necks, and there's freaking there's people getting freaking murked at the playground. There's freaking all kinds of fun stuff's going on. People are shooting themselves in the head accidentally, and then we go to the hospital to do this whole Flying Figaro sequence. Obviously, the the moment that led up to that, though, Brady, when they did the when he steals the car. I'm talking about the other guy, the guy that does go flying. He's playing that's where the Flying Figaro thing comes in, because he's playing the Figaro opera music in the car. Then he crashes it into the post immediately. He goes
was
off
not driving very well last night.
They stopped doing lessons at Smith Grove, that's for sure. He fucking he crashes that shit. But yeah, it halts the whole movie, man. It stops it completely. You have this whole thing. It makes it feel epic with the score and the slow motion and Sheriff Barker getting freaking lifted up like he's freaking at a concert, doing all kinds of crazy stuff. But it's so stupid. It's supposed to be emotional, but I'm just like, what are we watching right now? It's not. It doesn't have that effect. Second, I would say. I know I talked a lot about that. Honestly, I would go, God, this one's tough because I really don't think the Sartain thing is really that bad in hindsight. I know at the moment it really took me out of the movie, but I get what they were going for. Like they were going for the fact that, again, Michael has had that impact on Sartain the same way he did Corey Cunningham, like the same way his evil kind of transferred over to Sartain after he worked with him for so many years. Like that's kind of what he became. He wanted to see Michael get out, and he wanted to help him, and he wanted to get him to Lori. So in hindsight, it really is not that bad of a twist. So I would say that's probably, I don't know, man. I think that's probably I would put that at the best, I mean the least worst, if that makes sense. And then in the middle, I'll do the whole Corey Cunningham thing, which I still loved it. I don't think that's even that bad for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude, very interesting list.
Sorry, that was long-winded.
Oh no, dude, you're absolutely good, man. We got to freaking wrap this up, man, because when's the next time we're going to talk about Halloween? I don't know. Let me think here. WTF. Okay, well, let's go with the ultimate WTF, in my opinion. It has to be the freaking Corey Cunningham and Michael freaking fighting in the sewers. This time I'm serious. Dude, that was a big what the fuck moment. Like, Michael is legit going to just take that beating and just let some rando, like, freaking take his mask. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like,
hey, Bert, he lost the battle, but he won the war.
Yeah, well, I was just like, he shouldn't even have to go to war, man. He should have just freaking won that battle. Like, he would have won that battle 9 times out of 10. I guess he just got unfortunate with that freaking 10th battle, man. So that one was a WTF moment. Kills definitely has to be the freaking middle act, like you said, with the whole hospital scene. Just made absolutely no sense to me, and we could have used those 15 minutes to generate a character, a story actually with Allison to build her up, because again, this was supposed to be more of her movie, but again, we didn't do jack shit with it. So there's a WTF. And then the ultimate WTF moment has to go to, aw man, I got peanut butter on my penis. Has to be like it has to be like because it's the most random thing, and freaking Kenny Powers was behind that freaking man. Even though I know his name's like Kenny Powers, but I just kind of refuse to acknowledge him. So that's what I'm just going to call him that. So screw that because he should have never been a part of this Halloween trilogy with his freaking lame ass jokes. Yeah, peanut butter on my penis, definitely the most WTF for me.
So if you had to rank like the Sartain twist, the Flying Figaro, and the Corey Cunningham taking over as Michael Myers, like how would those go for you? Like just out of curiosity.
As like a big like what the fuck twist.
Yeah, what's the worst? What's the best? If best is even possible.
Flying Figaro has to be number 1. The Sartain at number 2, and then Corey Cunningham at number 3, just because mainly of the fact where kind of like I like that direction of like the shape. It's not just Michael Myers. The shape could be anyone and anything at any time. That's why I wish the overall message would have been. Guess what? We could have explained that with an anthology franchise, but unfortunately, you all wanted Michael Myers, or the fans wanted Michael Myers. Which again, don't blame him; he's a cool looking dude. But man, I feel like the franchise would be a lot more successful on the anthology route.
He said, "Don't blame him; he's a cool looking dude. He is cool looking. That's what it comes down to, man." Yeah, I agree. I agree. I do think the Corey thing is better than the Sartain thing, so I would have that same ranking for sure.
Hell yeah. Here, make sure I'm not missing anything. Kyle has a yeah, we'll do this real quick, Brad. Kyle has another good one of best mask for good old Christopher Nelson.
Wow, dude, that's tough. I actually like the
It's
Ends
simple
mask.
for me. It's just 2018 kills ends.
Okay. I think I would go the opposite. Ends kills 2018.
Are you damn it? Okay, why?
Because I love the look of because it's weathered when it comes in 2018. You know, it's 40 years old. But I love seeing the effects the mask, seeing the mask show the effects of the night of 2018. I like seeing that, the way it kind of gets burnt up. And I like just how worn out it looks and ends. I like the way like the left side of his suit is all kind of burnt up and the mask is kind of just it's on its last little bit. I like it. It just makes it feel a little bit more gritty. It makes it feel it makes Michael feel a little bit more nasty. It makes him feel a little bit more, again, kind of real, I guess, because he's out there in the elements for 4 years and his mask has deteriorated even more. I like that a lot. I love the look of Michael in the ends. 2018, I love the mask. No, I would put 2018 over Kills. I would do that. I would put 2018 over Kills for sure.
Okay, I was about to say, like, if you think 2018 is your worst mask, I would like to have my mask back, please.
I think I would put it over Kills, but it still just kind of does feel a little weird at times in the movie. At times it's like overlit, I guess. The first time you see it really is in daylight. Well, yeah, and then when he puts it on, the first time it's in daylight as well. And there, it gets lit weird whenever he's in the back of the cop car. It makes it look a little funky. I like it a lot still, but there's something about that Ends mask I really like. Kills is in last place.
Okay. I'll give it to you. As long as 2018's not last, I'll give you that. Megacat says, no, the Jamie Lee Curtis fucking titty speech was the worst. Like, for what the fuck? That is an excellent what the fuck.
I like the titty speech.
Oh my. Well, you just love titties. But anyways, SBC Bird, what's going on, man? Saying, what's up, my dudes? Congrats on 1K. I'm so happy and proud of you guys. Dude, thank you so much for that. It's just a long time coming, but I wouldn't have it any other way or change anything because we learned a lot for these 2 years to get to this 1K. So now we're going to take what we know and keep marching forward to the 2.5K. That's our next goal.
Yeah, dude, we're going to freaking rock and roll with it, man. Much appreciated. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Brad, I know we're over an hour, but we're going to go a little longer because this is a triple threat match. Yeah. So you pretty much just want to freaking I wouldn't say quick pace things, but I would think just go ahead and skip Atmosphere.
No, dude, Atmosphere is big, man. What are you talking about? That's going to be
fine. Atmosphere, go.
But we can make it quick. Obviously, I said it earlier already. Halloween Ends has the best atmosphere in this trilogy, in my opinion. I think it absolutely does. It feels like the most lived-in version of Haddonfield. It feels very real. The community feels like it's a real community. And again, it all comes back to that junkyard sequence. 2018 is the second best because, again, going back to that bus crash scene, that's fucking good shit, man. That's really good. And the way, like, even when you're at Smith's Grove early in the movie, I love that. Kills, it's not atmospheric. It's just freaking Slayville.
Dude. So real quickly for me with atmosphere, I definitely love Ends because it definitely felt the most Halloween season atmosphere. Because again, with the freaking bar party and all that, with everybody dressing up and all that, it does feel like you're in the Halloween season. It's just to me, if we're talking about freaking like atmosphere among atmosphere, it's definitely 2018 for me, man. Just with the uneasiness throughout the entire film was absolutely done great. So Halloween 2018, my number one, Ends my number two. And yeah, again, Kills, they didn't give a shit about story. They didn't give a shit about atmosphere. It was just about kills, 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 and more kills. So Kills goes at number three.
Good pick. I think definitely agree with Kills at the bottom for sure.
And our chat loves titties. So hashtag titty lovers.
Keep that hashtag up, dude. Let's make it be known, man. I love it.
And Wolfman, what's going on, Michael from Mega Movie C? Halloween Ends is shockingly my favorite of the trilogy. I respect the bold decisions there, while the decision made in the other two, I was not a fan of at all. But yeah, see, but that's the thing, problem, Wolfman. I know Brad's getting ready to freaking agree with you and everything and tell me to fuck off, but I disagree. If it's the third movie of your trilogy and your main goal is to end the Jamie Lee Curtis 40 plus years storyline between Laurie and Michael, this is not the movie to try something bold and different. It should have been with Kills. That's when you should have gone bold and different.
I agree with that, Birdie. I do agree with that. But
when
I'm gauging, but it doesn't matter at the end of the day. I don't give a fuck. When I'm watching the movie, this is the one I enjoy. I'll tell you which one I enjoy the most here in a minute. But it's all about my enjoyment level whilst watching the movie. Yes, that is a negative I have, is the fact that they did this in the third movie. A little too late for all this stuff. But when I'm watching it, I don't give a fuck. I'm just watching it, and I'm like, dude, this is fucking good. But yeah, that's beside the point. We can move on to the next category and go from there.
All right, and great comment, Mega Movie C. So thank you for that. So we did that. Oh, okay, never mind. We're on good pace, though, Brad. I'm sorry, I kind of miscounted everything. So we're still on good pace because we saved the best two for last. So actually, everybody's here for one main reason, but let's go ahead and do this one. Best Michael Myers, and yes, I understand it's James Hugh Courtney for all three, but he definitely did something different with each of these three movies. So that's what we're going to talk about with this one. So Brad, go ahead and say, what is your favorite Michael Myers?
You're going to like this, Birdie. I think it's not really much of a surprise, though, but I think Halloween Ends is the worst of the three. You know, there's no denying that. I mean, I think he's badass at the end, but only for like 2 seconds. And then the rest of the movie, obviously, he's absent. But my favorite is Halloween 2018. I think it matches a pretty good balance of that kind of original Michael Myers kind of stalking a little bit. It's not as much as I wanted, but it was still there. You know, you had him at the graveyard early at daytime when he didn't have the mask on. He still had on the Smith's Grove outfit. He was back there looming around. I like that sequence. There was a deleted scene where he hung up a dog and he was still kind of doing the same thing. He was in the streets looking at it. Creepy. But still very, very.
I was so glad that was a deleted scene.
Yeah. They didn't need it, but it was also at the same time it was vintage Michael Myers. Like that's exactly what he does, man. He's crazy about dogs for some reason, not the hot kind.
Man, but dude, he must have had a rough childhood.
He did in Rob Zombieland.
Oh God.
But dude, when it came time to turn the heat up and kill some fools, he was brutal. He was just as brutal here as he was in Kills.
Erica.
Yes, hello and welcome. You talk about the bathroom sequence earlier. That was freaking some of the most brutal Michael Myers stuff you ever see. Wasn't even wearing the mask. And Kills obviously is very solid too. It's very close behind 2018. But I think that was almost too far into like Jason territory, whereas 2018 struck that balance pretty perfectly, I think.
Dude, very great points all around, dude, and I'm glad you put ends at the. Hey, you put ends at the ass end of this list, for this particular category. So yeah, it's obvious. Michael Myers is dead last in ends, because he hardly didn't get to do anything, which it makes sense from a perspective because again, this was mainly Corey Cunningham's movie, but again, that was not supposed to be the case. This was supposed to be Michael's last hurrah for a very long time, and unfortunately, we didn't get it. He didn't get to do much. But this is where this is where it's going to be tough, and I'm actually going to agree with the chat. I got Kills as my number one and 2018 as my number two, just because again. James Jude Courtney brought the most brutal Michael Myers we have ever seen in our entire life. Like, even more than Halloween 6 Michael Myers and Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 of when it comes to terms of brutality. And just with how badass he looked in doing it and just the mannerisms, I feel like James Jude Courtney finally figured out what he wanted to personally bring into the Michael Myers character. I feel like it fit all around, while in 2018, I think he was more of the guidance of Nick Castle and he was just trying to figure it out how he wanted to portray Michael Myers in his own way, because I felt like he was more focusing on how to do Nick Castle's way in 2018. Which I don't blame him. It's definitely an intimidating factor to try to upstage Nick Castle, which is almost nearly impossible to do. So Halloween Kills is my number one, 2018 my number two, and ends dead last.
Nice. Yeah, Kills was definitely Myers' movie. Like, that was the movie about Michael Myers for sure, man. That was his time to shine. Let me see about the next one.
There's only one more left, my friend.
Uno Mas, John. Uno Mas. Best freaking kills.
Yeah, just where everybody is here for is freaking the kills, man. It's all about the freaking kills. So Brad, I'm actually number one, in my opinion, should be obvious, but you know what? Never know with you. So go ahead. What about kills, man?
So in this one, I will give it to Kills for sure. If that's what you're here for, if you're here for the kills, then you're here for Halloween Kills, man. That's where you get the most. You get the highest death count of any Halloween movie, if I'm not mistaken. It's definitely the highest. And
I think 31.
Like Michael Myers is 21. I don't know where that. I don't know why I said that. But yeah, he was brutal as hell. Like, that's what it's all about. If you're here for brutal Myers, which we all are to an extent, you're going to find him in Halloween Kills for sure. And that's just where it is. Ince had a couple of really good kills, but there just wasn't enough to compete with the other two. So that's my least favorite when it comes to kills. And then 2018 would be right in the middle. But yeah, Kills number one.
Dude, definitely Kills number one, because again, that's the whole point of the freaking movie. It's Michael Myers freaking killing people, large body count, and in most freaking brutal ways. Even more brutal ways than Oscar with Guacamole with sexy girls. So number two is definitely going to go with 2018 because, again, we get the freaking bathroom scene. We get Oscar's kill and all that. Hell, he even freaking killed a kid in 2018, and that's always a freaking bold move in any horror movie. Yeah, freaking snap that on the neck. Snap that. I want some more. Snap that. Oh, that's for you, Akon. So 2018 is my middle. Oh man, and of course, Ian's definitely last. Even though the most memorable kill on that one is definitely Willie the Kid and the freaking DJ. Definitely, that kill was badass. And then, of course, the junkyard scene, that was really awesome when it comes to kills. But all that was really saved towards the end. And then just that middle act, we really didn't get much of anything. So Kills is easily my number one. 2018 is my number two, and Ends is dead last.
I agree. You got to think about all the plethora of kills we had in Kills. You had, badass freaking John Wick Michael with the firefighters. You had entertaining kills, with the girl shooting herself in the face on accident when he kicked the door.
Oh god. Oh my god, dude, that was a what the fuck moment, but in the best way possible.
And you had the light bulb to the neck. It was just, I guess Flying Figaro counts to an extent, like a total what the fuck kill. Just brutal, man. You had some brutal stuff in there. It was awesome.
Oh man, and killing me softly with his song. If Michael can actually say words
You know
with
what, Birdie?
his song, yeah.
Bum ba da dum bum. Didn't even talk earlier about
That made no sense.
didn't even talk earlier about Big John and Little John when we were talking about
Yeah,
characters. Of course, ki- what? But of course,
yeah.
what?
Okay.
Definitely kills was going to be last either way when it came to characters, though. But yeah, definitely number one in kills.
Most definitely. So let's see here. Okay, that was pretty much all that we had. If y'all have any other last minute questions to throw in there between these three movies, we will definitely be happy to. But until then, I'm sure most of you have already done already, or if you're joining late, you all get to decide who wins this slash it out. So be sure to get your vote in if you have not done so already. I am getting pretty close to freaking taking the gander at the poll. I have no idea what's going on in the poll, so it'll be just as shocking for me as it is for everybody else. So again, you decide. So Brad, we're gonna Oh, or do you have something?
Leave it up just a damn minute. I want you to go over into this Michael Myers from Halloween Ends and just appreciate how good that mask looks in that movie, dude. Like I know 18 is good. Like look at it. Like just look at it. Just take a closer gander. 18 is good, but dude, I love the way that thing looks over there. And I like the dust in the hair and all that. Like it's just freaking creepy, man.
Man,
Sorry.
do you know what the 20 with how he ends? Yeah, no, you pull him back up real quick. Like
All right.
I got something to say with how he ends, Michael. Do you know what he's pretty much just thinking right now?
What's he thinking?
40 plus years. You had one job to make me the most important fucking thing in the horror genre history with the 40 plus year story I have with that bitch Jamie Lee Curtis. And this is how you fucking repay me with this piece of shit that I just killed on the ground named Corey Cunningham? Are you fucking kidding me? That's what Michael was thinking in that picture.
I think he's actually thinking I'm getting too old for this shit. Let's go out.
He really was getting too old for this shit at that
Let's
point.
go out with a
So,
bang.
oh my god, dude, he freaking, he grinded out. Let's just say that.
I like the scene. I
Ha!
liked it.
Hood!
I like the scene where he's actually getting like amped up, whenever they start killing the deputy in the sewers, and he's getting pumped up, and he's kind of refilling himself again. He's waking up. The sleeping beast is awakened at that point. I like that sequence. I think that was pretty
Oh
cool.
my gosh, because Michael's got the pop you up. So, all right, let me check the chat real quick. I saw also Chris Snyder was here saying, "What's going
hello.
on, Chris? Hello, everyone. 2018 is my favorite of the bunch, but I'm a huge fan of Ends." Yes, Chris, I know. You
I
and
needed you
Brad let
here
the
earlier
gang up
tonight.
on me.
Brett's been hating on ends all night, dude. I needed you here in the chat. I had Matt
And
for a second.
then Chris also asked who's grinding who. Man, freaking Justin Timberlake grinding on freaking Cameron Diaz and Bad Teacher, dry humping. That's what we've been talking about tonight.
We did actually talk about that. You can go back and confirm that. That came up, as did What's Her Name and What's His Name in Halloween 2018. They did a little bit of that too. But really, the most grinding that was done in this trilogy was Michael Myers.
Hell yeah, dude! Absolutely, he was getting down on the he's getting down on the dance floor. Okay, we're not doing any more karaoke tonight, but what we are going to do to kind of wrap everything up here is overall thoughts and movie ratings for all three of these movies.
I could tell you the third place movie is Halloween Kills. I can say that for sure, definitively. I know that was the most disappointed I was coming out of the theater for any of these. I remember coming out and I was like, what the fuck was that? I don't know if my expectations were too high after that badass trailer or what, but I just remember coming out being really disappointed. It has grown on me since. I don't think it's horrible. When I'm watching it, I talk shit about it. But when I'm watching, I'm like, okay, I'm having a fun time throughout this movie until the Figaro thing comes up. All these things
Rosie,
came out
behave
tonight.
yourself.
It's true. It's true. It happened. We talked about all these items tonight. It was a lot of fun. And honestly, they all go well together. Like all three of those things in one.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. So yeah, that's true. But yeah, Kills at the bottom. I'm going to do it. I'm going to say Ends is my favorite in this trilogy. I'm going to say that.
Fucking
I,
A.
I I just enjoy it the most when I'm watching it. I'm like, dude, this is a good, intriguing story. And like Michael said earlier, I appreciate that they took some chances. I thought 2018 was too safe. Like that's, and I still enjoy it. It's like Force Awakens in a lot, in so many ways. It's like Force Awakens. It's a very direct comparison. It comes out, it redoes the story of the first movie essentially. It's very safe. It's like it's not going to piss anybody off, and that's fine. And I appreciate it for that. But I like it when a movie takes change, especially an established IP like this that feels so wrong to go against the grain. The same way Rob Zombie did before, and with his movies, like everybody was so mad when it came out. This is what Halloween is, and that's what people said when Halloween Ends came out. But I appreciate it for that. I thought it was a very compelling story that I was just into, and I thought it was the biggest thing for me is that it was the most mature movie of the bunch, the best directed movie of the bunch, and the best written movie of the bunch, I think, because there wasn't really any silly comedy in that, save for maybe one sequence with Willie the Kid. But I really didn't get any. I wouldn't even say that. I don't think he's that bad. I think he's fine. I think he's picking on Corey like the same thing everybody else does, and it fits the movie. I don't think you have any of that weird comedy in this movie. It's a dark tone. It's definitely taking itself way more seriously, and I appreciate it for that. So yeah, Halloween Ends is my favorite of the three.
Oh my god. I just now finally realized that Willie the Kid was the fucking high school bully, wasn't he?
The high school bully. The high school
Because
bully.
I thought the entire time Willie the Kid was the DJ. Or if I've been right about that.
Yeah, Willie the Kid is the DJ.
Okay, thank God. Because I was like, oh my god, I just made a horrible mistake on the Real Horror Awards. Okay. I feel better now. I could continue with this stream because you scared me there for a minute. I'm like, oh shit. See, okay, so that pretty much is a nice segue to my dead ass last movie, and that's freaking Halloween Ends. Just again, like I appreciate the boldness, but again, we don't need the boldness to come in when the most important thing you should be telling is the 40+ year story of Jamie Lee Curtis and Michael Myers. I've been saying that throughout this entire stream. That's why I picked most of every topic with Halloween Ends being dead ass last, because again, it just completely failed the mark, man. So that's why it goes dead last. But I did love everything with Corey Cunningham and the story about the whole philosophy that the shape could be anyone or anything at any time. I wish we could explore that more within the Halloween franchise. It's just unfortunately, it's Michael Myers' franchise. So I still give Halloween Ends a 3 out of 5. But second place, this movie's grown on me with every rewatch. I just enjoy it for what it is, and that's Halloween Kills. Kind of like how Erica said it earlier. It's all about the kills, and that's what she was there for. Kills, 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 and kills. And if you could tell your brain that, you're going to have more of a good time with the movie.
It's all about the bass because they're in the band.
No trouble, right?
Yeah.
Man. God, man, we got to do our own music channel. Nah, I'm just kidding. We'll just freaking just butcher everything. So let's not do that. I love this channel already. But yeah, with Kills, though, it's just what really holds it back. It's just a handle of the legacy characters. They did not use them to promote the newer characters to make them more important than what they are, to like develop them. Just a complete clusterfuck on that. Definitely and Halloween Kills for me, I do have a 3.5, really a 3.75 if I'm just doing it my way. But then, of course, number one is Halloween 2018, 4.25 out of 5. What a damn great way to bring back the Halloween franchise after a long year absence, continuing the story from 78. This is the ultimate definition of how a successful requel is supposed to be done. It was done as near close to perfection as you can do. And Michael Myers looks badass. Laurie was badass. We get a new great up-and-coming character that you hope they do something right with, and Allison, which unfortunately they did not do that. It is disheartening every freaking time knowing what came after that. But what came in 2018, I was so excited for Andy Manichek and the Allison character. So Halloween 2018 is my number one of the three.
I forgot to give my ratings as you were going through that. So 4 for Halloween 2018, 4 for Halloween Ends, and 3.75 for Halloween Kills. I think that I know a lot of people give this trilogy crap for, whatever reason. Overall, I think it's solid. I still enjoy all three of these movies when I watch them. I think they're good. When you compare them to a lot of the movies in the franchise, they're all really well made. They're really well taken care of. Obviously, they could have done things better. They could have, they definitely could have done things better for sure. There's no denying that. But at the end of the day, I think they're all three solid, Halloween entries, and I enjoy them all for what they are.
Hell yeah, man. And I still enjoy ends for some of it, but not for all of it. And according to the box office, it is technically a successful trilogy from the box office perspective. But I think from a fan's perspective, I don't think it was as successful as we were hoping it would be. Or do you disagree?
It went a lot of different directions than I thought it would go. Obviously I thought that 2018 was a really good starting point, and I don't think Kills really built on that the way I wanted it to. And obviously, which kind of set ends up for failure at the end of the day, but ends decided to do different things. But when you look at it as a separate movie, it's really solid. And yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I enjoy them all. I do. I am slightly, I could say I'm slightly disappointed with them, but at the end of the day, I don't think they're bad. I don't think any of them are bad. I enjoy them all three.
Hell yeah, man. That's great. Sorry, I'm just checking the comment one last time. Mega Cat, what do you got to say right here? No, Brad, you're right. I puked in my cup, half of it spilled on the floor, and then I went and slapped the kid that sold me the tickets to the movie. Mega Cat, you freaking tricky dog, you. So before I check the poll for the officials result, Brad, do you want to go over what's coming up on the channel really quickly?
Yeah, dude, let's do that.
All right, let me get rid of these the tapes here real quick. There's my sex tape. I gotta get that out there. I don't know how that freaking loaded up. So Brad, big day tomorrow, man. This is the long time coming. We have been so looking forward to.
Oh, dude, yeah, we're gonna be doing trivia night. We've been talking about it all the time, since the last one at 750 subscribers, I believe. We're at 1,000 now, so we're doing all things horror. It's gonna be a big epic night. Kyle freaking Flett's gonna be joining us from the Return of the Living Flett. The Slaughtered Lamb's going to be with us in the final ghouls as well. It's going to be really, really epic. And I'm actually going to be moderating tomorrow night, as long as there's no changes between now and then.
Yeah, man. Brad, you better keep it fair and square. Just give me some bonus points or something like that. I'm your bro. I'm your pal. I'm your amigo.
That's not going to happen unless you give me Taco Bell.
Fine. Oh, hey, I love Taco Bell. But I also love freaking this series we're about to start on Sunday.
Yeah, dude, we're going to be typing in we're going to be going for the Scream movies here pretty soon, aka this Sunday, starting with our live interactive movie review for Scream from the first one. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be kicking off that series to lead up to the release of Scream 6. And yeah, we did review the Scream movies last year, but we're going to do it better this time. We're going to give it our all, and we're going to have a lot of fun. And of course, that's going to be live and epic.
Yeah, absolutely. And Brad, the very next day, we're going to be starting like a new little series of videos that will go along with these interactive live movie reviews in the future.
Yes, we are. That's going to be freaking trivia to go along with every one of those Scream reviews. The next day, we're going to be dropping a quick little trivia challenge, essentially, so you guys can play along and see how you guys score.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so looking forward to that. Unfortunately, I am not looking forward to next Friday.
Wow. Because Brett's ass lost that Survivor series from last Sunday, which I appreciate you guys for voting for me. We're gonna punish his ass. He's gonna have to watch.
They didn't vote for you. They voted for Dr. Loomis. Okay.
Brett's gonna be watching Jeepers Creepers 4 as a punishment for losing that. And he's going to be doing it live. So you guys can all pop in there, make fun of his ass, tell him how much of a fun time he's going to have that night. And it's going to be a great, and the best part about this is he has to do it solo dolo. That's going to be the
Brad gets to freaking have an off night, freaking sipping margaritas and eating tacos while I be freaking eating puke by watching this movie. Because in some cultures they only eat vomit.
Well, I've never actually been there, but I read about it.
Yeah, well, don't go to that particular country. But so anyways, yeah, Punish Edition, that is going to be next Friday at 8 o'clock Eastern time. If you want to see me be so damn miserable or just want to send your condolences, that's the time to do it. But we're going to have some fun after that on February the 15th, my friend.
Yeah, dude, we're gonna be going over the true story based on a real story. This is actually Chris Snyder's idea, so much appreciated, my friend. We're gonna be doing based on a real story for Cocaine Bear. That's gonna be coming out right before the release of Cocaine Bear. And don't worry, these stories are vastly different, so we're not gonna spoil the movie for you. It's okay. I've already kind of looked into it a little bit. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Hell yeah. And of course, lastly, very anticipated because this goes along with our 1K special, The Shining live watch party as voted by you, the fans. So the Shining watch party is February the 23rd at 8 o'clock Eastern time.
Yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun, man. We're gonna be going to the Overlook together.
Hell yeah, man. Here's Bert. Nah, I'm just messing, man. Hey, all work and no play makes Bert a really dull boy.
Yes, it does.
Hell yeah.
But no, dude. I mean, Bert did a lot of work and for the horror rewards, and he's still fine. You did okay. You're making it.
Ah! No, just kidding. All right, let's freaking look up the results and send everybody home pack or everybody up to their beds. So, Brad, let me go ahead and get my picture taken so we save the results and everything. Are you ready, Brad?
Yes.
Here we go. 29 votes. First off, thank you guys so much for that, everybody, because the more votes we can get into this, the more competitive and better these types of streams will be. So thank you so much for voting. So, Brad, the winner, 66% of the votes that's 2/3, by the way, 2/3. Halloween 2018 is our winner of Slash It Out tonight. 66% for 2018, 21% for Halloween Kills, and right where it belongs, 14% Halloween Ends.
Thank you, Matt Facci. I appreciate your support.
And Chris. I'm sure Chris voted there too. So
No, Chris said he likes 2018 the most earlier.
Oh, he did. Okay.
Yeah.
Then never mind. Thank you, Chris. And yes, Chris, I just saw your comment there. Let me pull that up real quick because you're absolutely right. Yes, we are still on for that, Chris Snyder. It's Chris. Trying to think here. Sorry, my brain's all over the place right now.
Would you rather for Saul, the Saul thing?
Would you rather for Saul? That's going to be a stream on the Jigsaw Falls podcast on Chris Snyder's channel. And I'll be sure to post links, and Chris will post links on the Facebook group as well. So be sure that is Saturday at 8 o'clock Eastern time for what I believe. It's going to be Would You Rather for the Saul franchise. And man, we're going to get some weird ass questions.
I'm looking forward to that, man. I really wanted to be on that one, but we're doing the show, obviously tonight, Friday, and Sunday. So I had to have, just an opportunity this weekend to do some other things. But it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be awesome. I'm so looking forward to that. And sorry, I just remembered too, right after trivia night, tomorrow night, I will be on the Dark Ether Files podcast at 9:45 p.m. Eastern time as they're doing the Conjuring watch party. They are so cool for allowing me to be a special guest because they know how much I love that damn movie. Anytime the Conjuring is playing, I'm always there to watch it.
Oh yeah, you are. It's gonna be awesome.
So. Hell yeah. So, guys, with that in mind, we're going to go ahead and close out. Let us know once again, what do you all think about this particular session? Which movie do you like the best? Which movie do you hate? Let us know all of that in the comment section down below, and let's get that discussion rolling.
And if you want to help us find the good reels, you can do so by finding us on those social medias right down below. The Patreon links down there, as well as everything else.
Absolutely. I know we got 5 people. I know there's a lot of streams going on tonight, but since you guys are so awesome, Brad, I feel like we should get them a special sneak peek of what they can expect in the future, especially with super chats, with one particular video. And plus, I just want to experiment with it.
Hit it, Chewy.
Guys, you all been a great crowd, and we're going to celebrate that. Gizmo. Yeah, freaking Gizmo, man. That's his cute little ass off, man. Oh, hell yeah. Brandon, the Meacham, what's going on there, man? With a super chat. So, Brad, you get to select the video.
Oh!
that for $1.
That's my favorite, dude.
I
it's
love
really hard
that,
not.
dude. We might just played that for the entire time. That and Gizmo, man. That's freaking awesome. So, Team Halloween Kills is what Brendan says for a $2 super chat, man. So, thank you so much. And actually, before we lock off, Brad came up with this awesome idea. Let me type this out real quick. So for every time a super chat or somebody provides a super chat, we're going to play this nice little banner here, and we will play this throughout the entire stream to give you all a freaking special shout out since you all been so kind to us.
Hell yeah, dude. I think it's gonna be awesome, man. And much appreciated, Brandon. And man, looking forward to a full weekend of events, man. It's gonna be fun, man. A good celebration month,
dude.
kicking it off good tonight.
Yeah. Dude, we got freaking that month. We got the real March Madness next month. So you got a lot coming for Good Real Hunting. So be sure to stay tuned for that.
Yes.
All right. So we are officially going to log off for the night. Thank you so much for making this a great success. Definitely more triple threats coming your way in the future. And we will see you all tomorrow for Horror Trivia Night Free for All.
Pennywise will be there.
Evil Night tonight.